We're playing Kult tonight. Kult is a very, very dark game, so the mature warning applies even more than usual. If you at all do not want to watch this, that's perfectly fine. Just know that it's going to get weird and dark, and might be a little sexy here and there. But yeah, it's Kult is a very dark game of psychological traumatic horror. So we have all discussed it at length. We have safety tools in place. We know exactly where everyone's limits are and so on and so forth. As for you, the audience, you have to decide for yourself whether or not you want to watch this. So you do what you got to do for yourself, okay?
Please state your name for the record.
Thomas C. Church.
Occupation?
Sure. This and that.
More specifically, Mr. Church.
Take your pick. Private Eye, Bill Bondsman, Current Salesman.
Mr. Church, it's come to our attention that you...
Our? Who do you work for?
That you have been pursuing a serial killer known as the Five-Headed Angel, also known as Austin Bannon, also known as Father Eli Bannon. Have you found him?
Wouldn't say so. Not really.
Oh, really?
I had found him, but to be honest, whether or not he's the Five-Headed Angel is still up for a debate, but yeah, found Bannon. He turned up as the head of some cult called The Founding here in Nevada.
That's the group the FBI just took down last year.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to Bannon?
No one knows. He disappeared during the raid along with a few of his cultists.
Disappeared?
Yep. No bodies. No one saw them leave, just thin air.
I see.
I'm very surprised.
I've seen a few strange things in my time, Mr. Church. In this job, you...
What job? I thought you were FBI, but I guess not. Who do you work for, Bright?
Any idea where Bannon went?
Not a one.
Who was with him?
High Priestess Sandra Sato, young woman named Alice Bridger, just joined the cult.
Interesting. Tell me about her.
Nothing to tell, just some fucked up young girl with daddy issues who got cornered by Bannon.
Come now, Mr. Church, surely you could share some tidbit as a professional courtesy.
Yeah, right. I don't know anything.
And the fire. What do you know about that?
The fire?
Yes. The fire that destroyed an entire city of Hartwell, where the cult operated.
Who do you work for, Bright?
Interested parties.
Government?
Possibly. Now, it's getting late, and I'm sure you have better things to do. Just tell me what you know about Alice Bridger and about the fire.
I just told you everything I know.
That's not helpful, Church. Surely someone knows something. Who? Give me something to go on, Church, and I'll stop bothering you. Was one of them named Kitchen? Perhaps? Delphine Kitchen?
There were 6 of them. 5 women and 1 man who were in a cult, survived the raid, but no one named Kitchen. Doesn't matter. They're all dead now.
Good. Yeah. That's not really an issue. See, now we're getting somewhere. Now tell me about these survivors.
There are places where the illusion thins, where the two worlds, the lie and the truth, rub up against each other seductively. One such place is the desert. Small towns like Hartwell in Nevada tend to be such places. The starting point of this story is a small ranch just outside the city limits called the Dixon Line. And more specifically, the black barn, the ominous black barn that sits in the rear courtyard. From an article published in the Orlando Sentinel, Mind Over Myth, psychiatrist takes on Nevada cult survivors, by Agnes Storr. Dr. Theo Bell, a renowned and polarizing psychiatrist, has stepped into the national spotlight after agreeing to treat survivors of the Founding, the Nevada-based cult recently dismantled in a sweeping FBI operation. Bell is best known as the creator of cognitive reorientation therapy, a controversial method designed to help former cult members dismantle deeply ingrained belief systems and reclaim personal autonomy. Supporters hail Bell's approach as groundbreaking, citing its reported success with former members of high-control groups across the country. Critics, however, argued that the therapy is too confrontational, accusing it of replacing one rigid framework with another. Bell has dismissed such claims, stating that his work is not about erasing belief, but restoring choice. With only a handful of founding members having survived the deadly and mishandled FBI raid, now entering treatment, federal officials say Bell's involvement marks a critical next step after the cult's collapse. As public scrutiny grows, so too does the debate over whether his unorthodox methods represent the future of cult deprogramming, or a risky experiment played out in the wake of trauma. Dr. Bell finishes the article, folds the newspaper, and places it under his clipboard. His long, elegant fingers grasp the fountain pen once more, and he continues to write his daily notes. We are making progress. I sense that there is a collective hole in their memory, something that occurred a few hours or just before the FBI raided the compound. If I can pinpoint the moment, we might be able to pull back the veil and see what it is they have forgotten, or more likely blocked from their minds. The layers of trauma are fascinating, like scabs upon scars upon scabs upon scars. I've begun referring to each of them in code. The mother, who seems so intent on giving all of herself away to ensure the well-being of others. The sinner, a housewife with very traditional morals and a deeply ingrained strain of sexual psychosis. The dancer, whose mind, I believe, was fragmented long before the cult came into play. And the child, who possesses layers of religious and sexual trauma that would necessitate their own study to fully unravel. Today I'll be using Moyer's pharmacohypnotherapy approach to take them back to that event. I'm not unaware of the controversial nature of Moyer's approach. Microdosing LSD to patients under hypnosis is a frankly delicate proposition. But this case is far too important not to take a few risks. History, surely, will give me reason. All four of you, we will just have to use our imagination and imagine that Creep is here. All four of you are sitting in a circle, facing each other, inside a tight pool of light. The pill Bell gave you has left a slightly bitter taste at the back of your throats, and the room has begun to feel a little warm. Bell walks around you all, out in the darkened part of the room, a disembodied voice guiding you into hypnosis. As always, we begin by reaffirming who we are, this helps us center ourselves and anchor ourselves in the reality of our own being. We'll go in a circle, as usual, and I want you to tell us your full name and the truth about yourselves that we can call upon later as an anchor if we need to pull you back as you begin to drift. And he looks at your character, Ava.
My name is Estelle, and I was a pageant queen. Several rankings.
He looks at your character, Blue.
Delphine, Devereaux, Meadows. I think I'm lonely lately.
He looks at your character, Kato.
I'm Marjorie Fontaine, and as a child, my best friend was named Lizzie.
I understand that. Get on all fours. Remove your dress.
Yes, sir. She does exactly as she's told.
And mention I would probably make mistakes with the videos, and that was one of them right there. He looks at the last person in the room, a young woman who says that her name is Iommi Earhart and that she loves horses. She grew up on a farm and she was always very close to horses. Hold on to these, Bell says, as they will guide you back to us. Now, close your eyes and try to remember. He puts on a metronome. It is Saturday, January 30th, 1970, almost exactly a year ago. Soon, alerted by the disappearance of a social worker as well as 2 police officers, the FBI will surround Father Eli Bannon's ranch, and in a matter of hours, a fire will start in the main house, prompting the FBI SWAT to act. The event you were all to attend that weekend, an event Father Bannon called Foundation, and which was to involve your becoming, or ascension into the higher ranks of the cult, ended in tragedy as 2 FBI officers were killed as well as 13 of the members of Bannon's cult. Most of the inner circle were killed or arrested, but Bannon himself and 2 other members disappeared. You 4 were rescued. But while your becoming had not yet begun, whatever ritual was to take place in the black barn behind Bannon's house, you had begun preparations for, and that's what I would like to focus on now. Slow down your breathing. Focus on the metronome. I want you to think back, reach out with one of your senses. Find one sensory memory from the day before the raid, a smell, a sight, a sound, a taste, the touch or feel or something. Focus on just that. Bring its memory back to the fore. His voice fades. The sense memory pulls you back to that small, cramped room beneath the house. You 4, as well as the other 2 initiates, Tara and Sage, all nervous and excited and a little afraid. The memory plays out like a dream, confusing at times, disjointed. You remember the moment before the ritual, before the raid, before all the screaming and the blood and the death and the fire. What do you remember? Start with Estelle, then Delphine, and then Marjorie. Tell us what sensory memory brings you back to the moment.
I hear adults. It's been a while since I've heard children, since being here. But adults talking, clinking of silverware during a communal meal. They sound like they have no idea what's about to happen. Delphine.
The feel of those robes, they were heavy and thick, and the hemp and the wool was coarse against my skin, and it made me want to scratch and scratch and scratch, and I couldn't. And it just consumed my mind.
I remember the sight of the tunnel leading into the barn with the loose wooden floorboard. I remember you always had to step over it, and I was counting how far away it was from where I was, how many floorboards were between me and the loose one.
It's difficult to tell what the room was built for, but now it's where you wait. Its walls are metal, the floor wood. A short ladder goes up to a metal trap door, which is now closed. The pale green paint cracked and flaking on the walls. It does smell of horses. There's an industrial type of plastic curtain, long, narrow, semi-transparent strips overlapping each other and stained with something rust-colored that separates you from a tunnel that leads off towards the black barn. That's when the first scream erupts, upstairs, followed by gunfire, then more screams. The plastic curtain blows inward, carrying with it like a deep exhalation, a warm breath that washes over your face, smelling of iron and rust and something sweet. Immediately, Tara stands up, one of the others in the room with you. Tara stands up, starts screaming. You can see fear in her eyes. She reaches for the ladder, tries to go up, grabs the handle. As she tries to pull it, realizes it's locked. As she's pulling on it and jiggling, smoke, as from a fire, starts to drift down. Panic starts to set in. I'm going to ask everyone to give me a keep it together roll. The way you do a keep it together roll is you roll plus willpower. You do have some advantages if you want to use them. You don't have to. Just saying they're there. We'll go around. Ava, what did you get?
11.
11. Anybody else get between 10 and 14?
I got a 10.
And Kiddo?
I got a 9.
All right, so 10 and 14. Blue and Ava. The effort to resist the panic that's about to set in is so extreme that it starts to cause another problem as you're just clamping down and trying really hard to not lose your shit. You will each lose a stability. And then choose one of the following conditions: angry, sad, scared. And you each lose one stability.
I think for Delphine, it's anger.
I think sad.
Marjorie, the strain in that moment is almost too much for you to handle. You feel the panic settling in. You feel like you're about to go crazy. You're about to lose control of yourself. You're going to lose 2 stability. But just as you're about to lose control, just as you're about, you feel it. You feel like you're going to lose all ability to act and think rationally. Something changes. You feel a sudden clarity come over you. And you start looking around the room. And it's like everything is moving in slow motion. You can clearly see everything and understand what's going on. You will see everything I'm about to describe. Estelle, as you are fighting to keep control, your eyes look up and you catch in the reflection of a stainless steel cupboard across the room sight of yourself. You see yourself reflected as you are right now, and in this moment of instability, your mind locks in on that. As you look at yourself, Estelle, in this reflection and see your face and what it looks like now at your age, after having children, after having to go through everything that you've been through in the past few years, how do you feel about your reflection?
It's hideous. She is so used to putting on a face so that no one can see a wrinkle of any type of negativity. If someone calls you a racial slur, if someone pinches your side and calls you fat, if someone critiques how you speak, internalize it, bite through it, smile, and make them eat their words. So she hates that she is looking at herself and she looks weak. So it's hideous to her.
And as you watch, your reflection appears to become almost liquid. It swirls and reforms into a different scene. Marjorie, you see this. You see what she's staring at. In the reflection now, Estelle, you see a motel room somewhere. The cheap kind with dirty sheets, sticky carpet. And in the bed, you watch your husband as he fucks in the most savage, rabid fashion a woman you recognize as Mare. She's looking straight at you as your husband ravages her. She's smiling at you, taunting. It's the look of someone who has won and is looking at someone who came in second place. Would you give me, please, a keep it together roll, which is a roll plus willpower. You should double check your ability might have an impact. Depending on what level of stability, you might be at a -1.
Yeah. Oh, okay, hold on. 14.
You lose another point of stability. Tell us how you feel seeing this scene displayed in front of you as if you are sitting in the proverbial cuck chair.
It makes me want to pick up smoking again, but not in any meaningful way of feeling release or a punishment to my lungs. I'm picking up smoking again so I could go up to that fucking bitch and stamp out the cigarette on her skin, in her fucking eyes, and I'll smoke the entire pack and shove it up her fucking cooch instead. And then I'll take those sheets that he's defiling himself with, that he's messing around on with her. And I'm kind of wondering, do I just wrap it around his neck until he turns blue? Or if I make him eat those cum-stained sheets and have that be his dinner when he comes home? I don't know yet. But for now, just smoking is the most tempting thing.
Delphine, you are sitting in a corner. There's a piece of music that's stuck in a loop in your head. Can't place it at first, but it won't let go. And then it comes to you. A family gathering. You're 14, maybe 15. Everyone has been hustled into the living room, gathered around the television. Your father is pushing a VHS tape in the VCR. And this song comes on. And you see her. Your sister. You see her at the end of term recital. Everyone around you oohs and ahs as they watch her twirl and move around the stage, doing some kind of break dance thing. Everyone ignoring you. Everyone just cheering as your sister does that shitty breakdance number on stage. How does that make you feel to watch your sister, your half-sister, dance in this way?
It's unrefined, it's jagged and sharp in all the wrong places. It's Delphine watches and the praise just kind of becomes a muted noise for them, and they just see her. They don't even hear the music, they just watch her. It's like they're trying to get her to look at them through the TV. And I think Delphine she knows that Dad got that really expensive vase and he treasured it so much. And for a second, Delphi considers just having a little accident to get their attention away from this. But that wouldn't do. It'd make them upset. And she's not supposed to make them upset. So she picks at her fingers. There are several scabs scattered across them already, and she just opens up a new one.
Can you give me, keeping it together roll, a plus willpower?
And I have a -1 to it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's 12.
Your stability slips further and you lose one more point of stability as you feel this anger at your half-sister take hold of you. It's so powerful that it almost feels like it's wrapping around you, and then you realize that you can't breathe. You can't move. You look down, and it's as if your shadow has begun ensnaring you. You see bands of darkness like coils of rope wrapping around your arms, around your legs, around your neck, and they're tightening and tightening and tightening, and you can't move and you can't breathe. And all you hear is that fucking little piece of music that just goes on and on and on in your mind. Marjorie, you smell the smoke and hear the horror of the gunfight upstairs, but you also see Estelle and Delphine. Estelle staring at herself in the reflection of the stainless steel. Delphine sitting, unmoving in a corner. Tara is over there screaming, losing control, banging and scratching at the trapdoor. Iommi is hesitating. You see she wants to run down the tunnel. Everything's in slow motion. Sage looks up to you, clearly waiting for direction. He needs someone to take control and tell him what to do. Can you give me a seeing through the illusion roll? It is done with a roll plus soul.
That's a 14.
You see all of this, but you also see beyond. You see the scene playing out in the reflection of the cupboard. You see a man that you're not quite sure, you think it's Estelle's husband, having sex with a woman that you remember, a woman who was in the cult up until a few months ago and disappeared suddenly and was not heard from again. You watch as the shadows around Delphine are wrapping around her. You see she's not just sitting there frozen in fear, she is being choked and held by these shadows that are wrapping up around her. What would you like to do?
I would like to rush over to Delphine and try and help her. I look to Sage and I say, we've got to get out of here. Now.
As you approach Delphine, you hear a voice that's coming to you almost kind of on the wind. It's multi-layered, like a dozen or 24 women speaking at the same time with different voices. And it says simply to you, take them in hand. And that voice dissipates. And you see the smoke is pouring into the room. You feel the heat that's coming from it. The sounds upstairs are dying off. Sage looks around, finds a piece of pipe, something to use as a weapon, and you see Iommi is already kind of darted towards the plastic curtain, and Sage reaches out and grabs her and looks back to you. You approach Delphine. What do you do?
I don't know much about medical training, but I know what I'm seeing. So I put my hands on her shoulders and I say, Delphine? Delphine, can you hear me?
Can Delphine hear her right now?
You can. You feel as if you're, in that moment when you're kind of half asleep and half awake and you're still kind of caught in a dream, but you're starting to realize you feel that you hear Marjorie's voice reaching out to you from far, far, far away. And it's kind of like in a dream where you have a decision to make, whether you want to just kind of go back to sleep or follow the sound of that voice.
Delphine would follow the sound of that voice. I think they are still in that moment of being the child and watching that video, and their eyes, they're kind of struggling against these holds that are taking place. And she eyes the vase next to her, and if she's able to, she will just smash the vase over her head to wake her up.
No problem at all. You manage to do that. The shock of it sort of brings you back into the moment. You, Marjorie, see Delphine's eyes kind of focus on you again after this. That she's kind of shaking it off and then clings and then is back in there, and you can see the shadows have all sort of just gone back to where they should be.
Are you okay?
Yes. What's happening? What's going on? She kind of covers her mouth, seeing the smoke.
Listen, I know what was just happening to you, okay? I just saw it too. But right now, we have to get out of here. Estelle, hey.
Estelle, you hear someone knocking at the door of the motel room, and you hear a voice calling out for you. Maybe it's room service, maybe it's another whore, who knows? But you hear a voice calling out your name and an insistent knocking at the motel room door. What do you do?
She's gonna stand up from her chair, and before going to the door, I think she's going to go towards Mare, and she's gonna just lean in, take her face on both sides, in her hands, and just will give her a very long, drawn-out kiss, and pull back and simply say, "Now, dearie, you know we have to punish bitches who take table scraps now, don't we? I'll see you soon." And she'll go to the door.
Estelle has turned to you, Marjorie, and leans forward trying to kiss you. And when you kind of step away from it, he says what she just said, the mayor. And she said it to you, and you can see that her eyes are kind of glassed over, and she's not completely with you. What would you like to do?
Estelle, I know your husband is, well, quite frankly, he's a son of a bitch, but now's not the time. There's a big fire, and I heard gunshots. We've got to get out of here, or we're gonna die. Hi? Hello?
Hello? Hi? Oh, that's disgusting. The smell of that cheap clothing. What? Hello. Hi. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
What are we doing?
We've got to get out of here. There's a fire. I understand you were in a hotel room and your husband was doing some nefarious activities, but right now we need to leave.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, please, let's go.
The lot of you leaving Tara behind as she keeps screaming and crying and banging her fists on the trapdoor that won't open. Head down tunnel.
As I'm walking, I stumble a little bit and catch my knee.
You pick yourself up. The sound of screaming and gunshots begins to fade as you move down this corridor. The tunnel is long and dark, carved out of the soil itself, only wooden slats laid down on the wet floor to travel upon. A faint red glow emanates from the other end, and you feel a warm pulse beating slowly. Low chanting gets louder as you travel through, and that same moist, warm breath flows over your face with every pulse. And you imagine yourself slowly traveling down the long esophagus of some ancient, terrible beast. You feel as if you're passing through something, an invisible border, unseen yet thick and viscous, a strange alien substance that parts before you a moment before it would stop you. And then up ahead, you see stairs leading up into the black barn itself. The thumping grows louder and faster in time with your heartbeat. The air around you feels strange, the whole place forbidden and wrong. How do you feel? What's going through your minds as you approach these stairs and know that you're only a few feet away from whatever's been going on in that barn since the beginning?
Finally, anticipation is thrumming through Delphine. Panic of the smoke, but having escaped it, just breathing heavy and anticipating what they're going to see, what they're going to lay her eyes on. She can't picture what it might be, but she's pictured it hundreds of times.
I think Estelle is disassociating a little bit right now. I think the momentum of what was going to happen has died with the fire, and it's more so just getting from point A to point B to point C and figure out how to go from there after all that. But I think she just feels numb if she has to put it into words.
I approach Delphine and say, I saw what was happening to you. Those shadows. Can you tell me about them? I just want to help.
I think Delphine shies away a little bit, but doesn't move out of your space. She just kind of folds in on herself. And she's, how did you see that? How do you?
I don't know, but at first I thought maybe it was some kind of fit or something. But then I saw these like shadowy tendrils, and I don't know what's happening, but I just want to help.
I don't know what it was.
You're interrupted as Iommi rushes forward, running up the stairs. And deep inside herself, she's feeling that her destiny lies up there. There is something awaiting her up there. She runs up, disappears beyond the entrance of the barn itself. The rest of you, slowly perhaps, follow her. I would like all of you to give me a See Through the Illusion, which is a plus soul roll.
$16.
17.
9.
You rush up the stairs. Your memories become fragmented, images after images flashing through your minds, things that were, things that couldn't be, things that will be. You feel as though you were seeing things you were never meant to see. You feel shame, excitement, peeping through a veil into a world that feels at once stranger and more truthful than the one you're accustomed to. The air smells of blood and flesh and sex, and a strange tingling spreads all over your skin, through your nerve endings, as if a powerful, almost divine current of energy is spreading through you. You're connected in a most intimate and indelible fashion, all of you. You watch, stunned, as a dark cathedral rises up in front of you, ancient, infinite, unknowable, and it feels like home, until the presence of something darker still, unfathomable and vile, emerges from its depths, and you feel the weight of its ire and hatred on you. Then you emerge, stairs, and the barn. It's empty. No sign of Father Eli or Alice or the choir. Motes of dust dancing in the air. And you get the sense that the door has closed on you. A wound sewed itself shut. Curtains pulled before your eyes. And just before This moment dissipates. Marjorie, you hear that voice again. Those layered voices. Part the veil. Call out to me when you have time and space to do so. You hear the metronome ticking. You hear Bell's voice cutting through the memories and the images. I'm back now. I'm back, Estelle, Iommi, Delphine, Marjorie, come back. You're all lying on the floor, in the grip of nausea and vertigo. Bell comes to each of you, helps you sit up, brings you water, talks you down. Takes a few minutes, and things start to come back into focus. You have clear memories of everything you just saw. What do you do? How are you reacting as you're coming down from this experiment, this experience, and finding your footing again?
I'm just listening, observing, trying not to vomit on the floor.
I think Estelle, in a moment of the vanity that is known to her, she's reaching for her purse and fumbling through to find her compact. And just through the nausea and all, doesn't matter. Just pat her hair, get rid of any tear stains. Try to feel that power of hers again. Normalcy.
I think Delphine reaches for the nearest trash can and just lets it all out. They just kind of cradle it. She cradles it in her lap and is holding it with both hands and is just trying to breathe through the nausea.
Marjorie would come over and say, "Can I hold your hair back for you?"
She just nods urgently.
I hold your hair back and I very gently rub the space between your shoulder blades and say, "Those shadows, they were real then, weren't they?"
Delphine kind of just tilts her head to look up at Marjorie and just shrugs tiredly. I don't know what is and isn't anymore at this point.
They look like they were trying to kill you.
What isn't?
Well, I worried. I do just want to help however I can. And I draw an extra strand of hair back and hold it gently.
She just turns away and stares into the garbage can and nods. I know. Thanks. Thank you.
Of course. Estelle, are you all right?
Peachy. Absolutely perfect.
Your, husband's a real winner, huh?
I can't help but just love that man. It's just annoying that Vegas bimbo likes to haunt me ever since she left. Right, that's the word, left.
Well, she's a trollop and doesn't hold the candle to you.
Of course not. Of course not. It's those type of women who like to go after married men, just desperate to have something that they can't truly have. But hey, I'm here and she's lost to the desert, hopefully.
Here's hoping. Maybe sometime we could have a glass of wine over it.
Oh, absolutely. Delphine, you're more than welcome to join us when you're not feeling sick.
Yeah.
You see over on the other side of the room, Dr. Bell and Iommi speaking. He is talking to her in low tones, but whatever he's telling her seems to set her on edge a little bit. Eventually, she asks him to get her some water, and when he turns to go, she simply runs out, leaving the place behind. Dr. Bell will come to each of you and say, this was a lot today. It was a lot for one day, so I'm going to suggest that we all go home and take some time to rest and think about what we saw happen, and when we come back 2 days from now, we'll sit down and go through your memories and try to see where they overlapped and where they connect and what sort of information we might be able to tease from them. I know it was a lot. Go home, treat yourself, get yourself some ice cream, whatever it is that you like, a little glass of wine, a bath, calm down. Just get some rest.
Of course. And I reach into my pockets and produce 2 milky white, flaky looking stones. And I place one in Delphine's hand and one in Estelle's hand, and I say, it's selenite for cleansing. Just don't put it in the bath with you. It's made of salt.
Thank you.
I love your gifts. And she tucks it on her chest. Right. Well, let me know when you want that wine, both of you.
Yes, I think I'll take my own advice and go home and draw a bath. Maybe a little tarot reading, just for good measure.
Thanks so much for the raid, Correct Leslie. Our Nightbot doesn't seem to be wanting to work tonight, so we can't use the chat commands, but just so you know, this is a very dark game intended for a mature audience, so please do take that into consideration when deciding to hang out. The lot of you will each head home. Each go your separate way, return home to try and find a little bit of rest perhaps, and try and make sense of everything that you just saw and experienced. Delphine, you pull up to your home. Can you give us a bit of an idea where you live, what it looks like? Is it a house? Is it an apartment? Like, what's your setup like?
I think it's like a small house, like a little townhome. The outside, the lawn is freshly manicured, and there's a small like white fence around it. It has like this blue rooftop and a little patch of daisies in the front that have long wilted, clearly not taken care of. And Delphine kind of fishes in her duffel bag for her keys and pulls them out and unlocks it, and the inside is dark and newspaper is glued to the windows. There are so many takeout containers, or like plates with old food piled on the tables and in various just corners and surfaces. Um, there's like a trail of clothing leading towards the basement, where like a wash and dryer is, and it's just dark and stale and a little musty in there as well. There's something definitely rotting in there. Um, and she kicks the door behind her, locks it, drops the duffel bag on the floor, and she goes to the living room and she drops onto the couch and just sits back on it, just staring at the ceiling for a second.
When you drop down onto the couch, you see on the living room table next to you a box. Small box, maybe 2 feet by 2 feet kind of thing, taped, and there's a note on top of it.
I think Delphine automatically assumes that a member of the family must have come by to drop it off. So she grabs it. There's a letter opener on the table. She cuts the package open before even reading the note.
Inside the box, you see a bunch of things. You see old family photos. You see a pair of old dancer shoes. You see pill bottles, a few t-shirts. There's some dance leotards, a book, and a shard of glass.
She looks at the shoes and will pick them up. And do they belong to her?
They're not your size, no.
Then she'd kind of shuffle through and pick up a pill bottle. Check whose name it is.
It is a pill bottle for a drug called thoraxin that is prescribed for your sister by one Dr. Phyllis.
Seeing that this is a box of Cassandra's things, she will pick up the note now and read it.
The note is from the real estate agent, Gloria, who's been trying to get you to sell the house that your sister lived in Vegas. In the note, she says, Delphine, have you decided what to do with your sister's house in Vegas yet? I'm getting a lot of interest in it. I did find a few more personal things in a box in a closet. I'm forwarding them to you. I think we should decide soon for the house. I think someone's been breaking in, maybe using it to squat. Call me this weekend if you can. Signed, Gloria.
Fucking great. Breaking in? She just tosses the notes off to the side and makes a mental note to call Gloria come the morning. But we'll pick up this book and flip through it.
It's a trashy romance novel. Nothing too interesting, the kind of thing you pick up at a bookstore in an airport on the way out. You flip through it. You're not even sure it's been read. It's just trash, really.
I think Delphine, I imagine she has like one of those old barbecue pits in the backyard. So she grabs the box, stomps towards the backyard with it in hand, gripping it. And the memories of earlier that day are flooding through her head. Even in death, she can't get a break from this bitch. And it pisses her off. So she drops it on the ground. I think things kind of spill out when she does. And she goes in the shed, grabs some wood or coal, and she starts the fire.
When you drop the box and things spill out of it, the shard of glass rolls out. In the afternoon sun of the desert, it glints and catches your eye. Go ahead and give me a see through the illusion roll, which is a plus soul roll. Your stability is still at -2, so I don't know if that will impact you.
It says, oops, sorry, a -1 to disadvantage rolls. So let's see. Come on. That is 13.
Yeah, so with the loss of the 2, you're at unfocus, you had -1 disadvantage on your roll.
You're right. So then 12.
I'm going to use one of my holds I have on you here, which is the Stalker. I'll use one of those. As your eye is caught by the reflection of the sun, a piece of glass, you reach down to pick it up. When you do, as soon as you grab it, you feel a sharp pain as it cuts into your palm and blood starts to spill over it. And when it does, you see for a moment your reflection in it, but then you realize it's not your reflection. It's your sister's reflection in the glass.
Delphine grabs it with both hands. I think she pulls away upon cutting herself, but then seeing Cassandra's eyes, she'll kind of tilt her head and pick up the glass and bring it close to see if she's really seeing what she's seeing, kind of move it around in the light.
The strange thing as you're looking at it, as blood is dripping down now your arm into your sleeve, is that you don't get the sense that it's a reflection. You get the sense that it's your sister looking at you through the other side of this glass. And there is anger in her eyes and hatred. And it shakes you really deeply to feel that very naked anger just directed right at you in this glass. And just as it's about to become too much, you're pulled out of it as you hear your doorbell ringing insistently.
It makes Delphine, for a second, she almost wants to pretend she isn't home. I think she'll grab the shard, gently place it back inside the box this time, kind of kick it upright, and then set it inside, and puts the finger in her mouth that is bleeding to try to stop it, and tries to rush back in to just peel back a little bit of the newspaper and see who it is at the door.
You don't even make it that far. As you're rushing back through the house, you suddenly feel this intense pain all the way through your body. The best way to describe it is that you feel like your muscles are pulling away from your bones, and all of a sudden you lose all strength. You fall to the floor, and as you're falling to the floor, you have this flashback, this image, this moment of your face, your sister's face, interchangeable, both of them, one then the other, as they smash into a mirror and shatter it, and the shards fall down, and the last piece that you see fall down is exactly the piece that you had in the box. And you hit the ground, and this pain is coursing through your entire body. It makes you curl up, almost like in a fetal position. Then the doorbell rings again. And then you're lying on the floor, and the piece of glass is just there. And you're not feeling pain anymore.
It just suddenly stops.
Mm-hmm.
She goes from like this gasping, like, and is shaken, is like looking around for a moment as to what that was, why it was. Just
There's nothing. The room, the house is quiet. You don't see anything in the glass anymore.
and the doorbell is still going.
There's a knocking at the door now. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Sorry to bother you. I saw you go in. Just would like to ask you a question or two. I'm not the police. Not the cops.
And who are you? She'll just call out.
Oh, hi. And you see a figure kind of move and kind of looking, but your windows are all covered in this newspaper, and he finds like a spot, and you can kind of see like a sliver of a face, and looks a man, white with a beard. He's got long hair. He's got sunglasses that are holding his hair up. Name's Church, Thomas Church. I'm a private detective. I just would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. I won't take up much of your time, but you'd be a great help. There's a family in California looking for their daughter, and any help you could give me might be what helps me find her.
She composes herself. I think you have the wrong person, the wrong place. I wouldn't know about anything about somebody missing.
You know someone named Austin Bannon? Maybe you know him as Eli or Father Eli Bannon?
This makes Delphine go quiet because people are not supposed to know who we are right now.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna come in the house. I'll just stand right here over on your porch, nice porch. I love what you've done with the windows. Probably saves you a bill on cleaning. But yeah, I'll just stay up here, ask you a couple questions. You want me to leave at any point in time, you tell me, and I'll get in my car and ride out of here and never see me again. I promise. But a young woman's life might depend on answers that you have to give me. So if you have 2 minutes.
Just give me a second.
And yeah, for sure.
Crawls around the floor for something clean to wrap her finger in quickly, just like to wipe up the blood that's dripping on her arm.
And as you're doing that, over yonder, Estelle, you arrive home, pull into the driveway. Your husband's car is there. What do you do?
Okay, let's deal with the consequences of this again. Let's see what he fucking wants. She's gonna get out of the car, face on, toss, Ariana style, and just go in.
When you walk in, he's on the phone, and he kind of looks at you when you walk in. I have to go. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, bye. And he hangs up. Hey, I was therapy. You all right? You look a little bit frazzled there.
Oh, don't worry. One of the girls was not having a great time, and you know me, I always want to help. Was that work, sweetie?
Yeah, Steve from the office.
Hello.
Look, he comes over and he kind of very awkwardly gives you a peck on the cheek. Look, it's possible. I don't want to say too much right now because things aren't sure yet, but it's possible to maybe work for me. The company's closing down here, but it looks like they're going to be opening big in India, a huge mine out there, and it looks like we're going to get the contract for that. They've kind of floated the idea of sending me, and I mean, if we want, of course. So, I was thinking maybe think about that. It might be a good opportunity for us to get away from all this, brouhaha here. We'll just, the kids all right. They're both settled. They got their own thing going. We can just, we don't even have to sell the house or anything. We can keep the house. Maybe look, we just go out there and try it out, you know. Like, I can say no. I can say no. Of course, it's, you know, a weird thing,
Honey, it's okay. This is such a big opportunity for you, and I'm just so proud of you. You've worked so
Aw, gee.
hard.
Thanks, babe. You're the best. You know that. Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? You look a little bit. Sure you're all right?
I'm looking like what, sweetie?
You know, you just like you had a rough morning. You know. You haven't been drinking, have you?
Not yet.
Okay, good. I mean, you know, look, think about the India thing, and maybe I'll bring back some champagne or something, and maybe we can celebrate. But look, it would mean great opportunity for us, good money, get away from all this, start again, and it means I don't lose my job, which, you know, maybe Cynthia will take the house. She's living in that fucking commune right now, and I don't like that one bit. I would feel much better if she was living here. You know, there's a security system. She could keep the car. Everything would be great. Just think about it. It's not a sure thing.
Of course. Have you had dinner yet? I can get started on that for you.
Oh yeah, no. I have to go. Don't wait up for me. I'm gonna have dinner with Chet and Dick. They want to talk about this India stuff. We're probably gonna go get some Indian at the Taj just to see if we can handle it. You know me and spices.
Of course. Well, I'll make sure the spare bedroom is prepared in case you don't want to. You want to be by yourself tonight.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, unless this Indian stuff gives me some pretty bad gas, you know. But
we always have to prepare for that, so don't worry. It's no trouble for me.
do you want me to bring you back anything? It'll probably be a bit late before I get back, but shouldn't be too late. If you want some butter chicken, maybe. You love the butter chicken.
You are so delightful to me, but it's all right. It'll be fine. Go have fun. Tell them I say hello.
All right, I will. And you know, I'll tell them maybe we'll do a little going away party around the pool or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Of course.
love you, babe. Look, if you need anything, you page me. I got my pager, and it gives you a kiss on the cheek. Just hit me on the pager. Call you right back wherever I'm at. I promise not to come in too late. All right. Look, I don't know. Maybe go and take a swim. You know, like just hang out in the pool today and just take it easy. You know.
Yes. Be safe, dear.
Yeah, absolutely, hon. All right. See you a little bit later. All right.
She's waiting
heads
for
off.
him
Yeah,
to
he grabs
leave
his
and-
little briefcase and his leather jacket he puts over his arm, and he walks
As soon as he leaves, she's gonna go behind the couch and she's gonna pull out this really fancy circular bottle of whiskey and a shot glass. Fucking Chad and Dick.
And as you take the shot, you hear a very loud splash out back as if someone had just cannonball into the pool.
Cynthia? Oh, she's not here. He would have said something. He's not that stupid. She'll go quickly to the kitchen and see if she can see anything out the window there.
Yeah, as you look out the window, you see pulling himself out of the pool this rather young, hot-looking punk who just slow-mo pushes himself out of water dripping off of him, dripping off of his skin, and he just sort of pulls up and sits down on the side of the pool, and he's sitting there in his little blue trunks, and he's got his legs in the water, and he puts his arms back, and he leans back, and you can see the muscle definition in his arms, and his hair is glorious. It's all shiny and black in the sun now with the water, and just raises his face up to the sun and just basks gloriously in it like some sort of demigod from some fucking mythology.
She's going to go back into the living room and she's gonna pick up a poker because she doesn't know who this strange, sexy man is. Why is he in her pool? And she'll go out. I think you're at the wrong house, dear.
He seems surprised to see you there, and then, hi, sorry, really
Hi.
sorry. No running around the pool, is that,
Well, no running around the pool, but also don't be at a pool of someone that you don't know, perhaps?
Oh, he gets up, and as he does, his trunks are clinging to him, and they're leaving nothing to the imagination as he just stands up and flings some water off his thing, and he's like, I see you're armed and dangerous there. Are you about to start a fire, or is that in case I misbehave?
Yes.
I'm Andre. And he slowly kind of extends his hand out to you.
Hello, Andre of...
You must be Estelle.
And how would you know this information?
She told me. Cynthia. She said she was the second best looking woman in the house, and I guess she was right.
You know, you could have led with that you were a friend of my daughter's.
But I kind of like the mystery of it. It's kind of exciting, Didn't you feel? Didn't feel a little excitement? Then you hear from behind you,
Ooh.
How was therapy, Mom?
Cynthia.
Yeah.
What have I told you about people that I don't know being in the house? You can't be surprising me like that.
I was just getting the broom to clean the pool. I was gone literally 2 minutes, and I come out and already... And she looks at Andre. What the hell are you doing? Talking to my mother like, were you flirting? I'm about to take that poker and I'm gonna put it so far up your ass we're gonna have to use your teeth to fucking rake the cinders.
Therapy was fine, dear. Therapy was fine.
Are you sure? You look a little bit, are you okay? You're looking a little pale, Mom. Mom, are you alright? And you're feeling the heat of everything. The sun that's beating down, the cement underneath your feet. Everything is just coming in. That shot you just took seems to have gotten right through your head. And all of a sudden, everything around you starts to spin. And you feel that nausea again kind of rising from earlier. Everything around you is going weird. And she's like, Mom, are you all right? Andre, catch her. And you feel yourself falling. Marjorie. You drive back home. Where does Marjorie live?
Oh, Marjorie, lives a little bit on the outskirts. She just really likes to have the opportunity to see the sky and the land and where those two things stitch together. Makes her feel a little less nervous, a little less trapped in that long tunnel.
You pull up, you see that Ollie's bike is there. You can see him moving through the curtains inside. What do you do?
I check my lipstick in the rearview mirror and stub out the cigarette I've been smoking. I reach into my purse and I spray myself with perfume and waft it a little bit. And I get out of the car and I walk to the front door. You
walk in, he's sitting cross-legged in the middle of your floor, there's the smell of a joint that is just permeating the air. He's got his guitar and he's strumming it, and he's got a piece of paper on the ground and he's strumming. He does a couple of chords and then he's humming a little melody, and then he stops and he writes something and he's like, oh, hey Marjorie, how you doing? You know anything that rhymes with Marjorie? I'm kidding. I've got something. How you doing? And he puts the guitar down and gets up and he comes over. You okay?
Hey, Olipop. Yeah, I'm okay. Just a little bit of a discombobulating day, I guess. How are you? This looks fun.
I'm okay. Look, come over here. Sit down. Do you want do you want a glass of water or something?
Well, I'd prefer a glass of wine.
Do you have wine?
Oh, yeah, there's a vintage just in the bar cart there.
Yeah, look, have a seat. And he takes you by the hand and he brings down and he says, yeah, oh, you smell good. And he goes over to the bar cart and he pulls out the thing, and you look down and he's been working on this little song. It's about you can tell, even though you're kind of reading it upside down. It's kind of very cute. He pours a glass of wine. Do you want some ice cubes in it?
Oh, that would be swell. Yeah, thanks.
Do you have ice cubes?
Yeah, Ollie, you can just check the freezer.
In the freezer, yeah, right. That's right. And he goes over. I'm not too high. I just had a little bit to, get the inspiration going. There's a bit left if you want. Just checking the glass, the green glass ashtray there by the chair. There should be a couple of good puffs left on it if you want. You hear binging and banging and crashing in the kitchen.
I lean over and take a match out of the matchbook and light the joint and take a long drag off of it. Exhale.
Immediately you feel relaxed. A lot of the tension and stress and weirdness that's kind of been part of this morning kind of starts wafting off of you, and Ollie comes back and he's got that little puppy dog smile, and he's got two glasses of wine with ice in them, and then he cracks open the wine and he pours it out, and he comes back and he sits down next to you. And do you want me to maybe rub your neck and your shoulders maybe?
Oh, that would be a treat. Truly, you're swell.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just turn around right here, right. And he starts massaging, and he's really good. He took some lessons at some point, and he's actually quite good. And as he starts digging into you and you're feeling some pops and some things kind of like go loose, it feels pretty good. And I haven't had any luck finding work. I've been looking. There's just not much going on, but I went down to the lumber yard today and hit up a gas station, so maybe one of them will give me a call. But I wanted to talk to you about this thing. I got a letter, and he stops massaging you for a second. He goes over to his little, got this messenger style bag with fringes and stuff on it, and he kind of rummages through it and he pulls out a bunch of papers that are all kind of stuck together, and he comes back and he smooths one out. I was like, I got a letter from my cousin Marco. He's up in Gold Beach in Oregon. Have you ever been out there?
Not by way of Gold Beach, but I've passed through Portland a couple times.
Oh, it's a great place out there. People are really chill, really laid back. It's really cool. The forest's amazing. You got the ocean right there. And my buddy, he runs this thing, boats for tourists, and he's looking for people. He got a couple new boats, and he's looking for people he can trust to drive the boats, to drive the tourists around. We do a bit of fishing, sightseeing, things like that. And I thought, maybe I could take him up on it and at least go and try it out for the summer. And I was thinking maybe you'd want to come out with me, out to the coast, and we could go out there and get ourselves a little place, and I'd get this job, and maybe we get pregnant, and it'd be like just, kind of cool and laid back and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, gee, Olipop. That's a lot to process. And I take a sip of my wine. Why don't we think on it? I don't know about you, but I'm starving. I don't think that there's much left in the fridge. Would you mind, getting a little takeaway? There's that Chinese joint we both like.
Yeah, sure. Could totally do that. I'll go again. Hey, when I come back, you think you could fuck around with my chakra a little bit? I've been feeling a little off. I don't know, like something weird in the astral space around me or something, and maybe you could do a little realignment for me tonight, just kind of like, little swift spiritual kick to the head kind of thing, just to sort of, get me on the right track again. Would you, is that something you'd do for me, doll?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm getting the sense that maybe your aura's a little fuzzy. Like maybe we need to clean the bats out of the belfry. And I think something might be up with your throat chakra, what with all the yammering.
Yeah, sorry. When I get high, I just blabber on a lot. Does it annoy you? I can stop if you want.
No, Olipop, it's okay. How about you just take a 20 from my bag? Hell, take 30 and get us a pack of cigarettes and another bottle of wine. We can have some fun tonight.
Yeah, that sounds radical. Sounds great. Okay, yeah, he downs the rest of the wine and he puts the glass there. You're really swell, Marjorie. I really like you a lot. I hope you know that I'm really thankful for everything you've done for me, for taking me in, and for, after the whole cult business. And I guess I got lucky. I got out of there in time, but I'm glad you're doing things to make yourself right also. I think you're a very swell gal, and, I want you to be happy and to be feeling good about things.
Thanks. I feel pretty good. I feel kind of connected to some of the gals, and it's really healing. I can just feel that I'm aligning myself again. Anyway, how about you go get us some grub?
Egg rolls. Sorry, spring rolls for you. No chicken. Got it. All right.
Yep. Vegetarian, please.
I got you. All right. He comes over, gives you a little kiss on the forehead. I'm going to take my bike because I'm way too fucked up to drive. So give me, half hour or so. I'll be right back. Maybe lay down and, try to catch some Z's or finish up that joint, There's more where that came from. All right. I'm out of here. And as he's backing out the door. Okay.
Go on. I got to rest up a little bit, okay?
He closes the door behind him.
Keeper, what time of year is this again?
Be in the fall-ish kind of thing. I think we said September earlier.
As he leaves, Marjorie would go to the window and I would look out and just watch him as he rides off. And I give it 10 minutes by my watch. And I retreat out into the garden. I have a small sanctuary of sorts. This ritual isn't neat or ceremonial the way that grimoires describe. It's kind of improvised.
And as you begin this, I'll interrupt you there to do one of my famous segues and ask you to hold your thought as you're preparing this. And we return to Delphine, who is opening the door and standing on her balcony with a man named Thomas Church. You can see once you open the door, he's wearing this corduroy jacket with a white shirt underneath it, and he's got corduroy pants and cowboy boots, and he's got tattoos. all over his hands. He's smoking a cigarette. Do you mind?
No, not at all. We can talk out here. And she'll come out of the home in a way where she is not opening the door to allow people to look inside at all. But she fully steps outside, kind of warms herself up and says, "You saw me come home? Have you been out here?"
Yeah, I was waiting to see it was just parked that orange Beetle there. That's my car. And I came by the other night. You weren't here, so I just figured I'd come by. I tried today. You weren't here, but I figured I'd give it a couple hours, and there you were. There you showed up. I don't like following people around too much. Kind of makes people edgy and nervous, and people who are edgy and nervous don't want to talk to you, so I kind of prefer this. Your land, your house, your grounds, you know. Figure we're in your territory here. My name's Thomas Church. I work for a private citizen from California. Their daughter disappeared several years ago. Austin Bannon at the time was in California. You might know him as Eli Bannon. He was a prime suspect in the investigation, but he disappeared. The cops eventually, they kind of let the case grow cold, but the parents didn't want to let it go. The dad's kind of a prominent person. So they hired me to follow up. And I've been kind of tracking him, trying to find him. And of course, what happened last year kind of made the news, and eventually I caught wind of it, and one thing led to another, and I came down here, started looking into things, and realized that this Father Eli Bannon was probably the same Austin Bannon I was looking for. So here I am. That's how I'm at your door here. Your name
That doesn't
is
explain how you found me.
Your name is Delphine, right?
Well, you know that already.
Yeah. By the time I got here, everything had happened. They were very careful about keeping your identity and that of the others out of the papers, but people always talk. A couple of dollars here, a favor there. Takes a little bit more time sometimes, but eventually someone spills the beans, and then you do your due diligence, you do your research on that, figure out the person, and then eventually make an approach, which is what I'm doing now. I'm very sorry about what you went through. It must have been absolutely terrible. I get that, and I hope that whatever you're doing now to get to feel better is helping. And I don't mean to cause any more trauma. I don't need to know anything really about what happened with you and with Ben. I'm not looking at it. I'm just trying to pick up Bannon's trail.
I don't know what happened with Bannon after everything went down. He's gone. I think dead, but I wouldn't know anything. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can help you.
Tell me this. When you knew, the Eli Bannon that you knew, was he someone who was very lame, very physically damaged? Did he have burns? Did he have severe damage to his leg? And none of those things.
Ring a bell.
None of those things. He looked like he had led a rough life, but nothing that extreme.
Delphine will kind of pretend to really think about it for a moment, and will say, "Well, not that I knew. We weren't close. The Father Eli and I. So, no, not that I knew of. Who is the person that you're looking for?"
Well, The Austin Bannon that I'm looking for was a soldier in Korea. When he returned from Korea, he had suffered severe damage to his body due to a landmine. Dr. Feliz was the military surgeon that helped him. She helped him through therapy. He underwent a lot of extensive surgeries. I think that the Bannon that came back from Korea was not well in the head, and I think a lot of these therapies he underwent might have fractured his mind even more. Have you heard of drugs, Neuroxyl, Thoraxin, Lucivex? Were any of those drugs ever offered to you as part of Bannon's cult?
Those weren't offered to me that I know of, but I am familiar with Thoraxin just because of a family member taking it sometime.
Really, a family member has taken Thoraxin. What were they taking it for? I mean, if you can, or if you do, you know the name of their doctor? Wouldn't it be Dr. Feliz? Would it?
Well, yes, but Delphine kind of stutters and I think takes a step forward towards church. And she has, it's like she's trying to be guarded, but he also has information that she wants, that she is curious about.
Mm-hmm.
And so she says, yeah, but I mean, I don't know why. I don't know how the two are connected. I don't know why they would be connected. It's
this family
my
member that
sister.
was taking these drugs. What was it for? Do you know?
I guess pain. She had some surgery.
Interesting. I don't suppose you'd share the name of the family member.
Can you share the name of the girl that you're looking for? That you're looking into? The family that you've been hired by?
It's kind of hard. Like I said, the dad is kind of higher up in politics, and one of their instructions was very much that this needed to remain very confidential. I understand if you can't share. I totally understand. I'm not trying to push you to reveal that. It's fine. Would you be at least able to tell me if it was here or somewhere else, that if I could find Dr. Feliz, for example, this might be useful for me?
Vegas.
Vegas. All right. We're getting so... Oh. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a handkerchief. You're bleeding. From the nose, you're bleeding. And he hands you the handkerchief, and you realize that you've started bleeding from the nose. You can now taste it on your lips.
She takes the handkerchief and presses it to her nose.
I'm
so sorry. Thank you.
No, it's okay. Look, how about I leave my card with you, and maybe when you're feeling a little bit better, if you want to talk again or something like that, you give me a ring, and maybe we can, meet somewhere else, a bit more comfortable when you're feeling better, and maybe we can compare notes. I'll talk to my clients, see if I can reveal some things to you, and maybe take it there. And he reaches into his jacket and he pulls out a card and he hands it to you. How would that be okay?
That's okay. She switches hands and will wipe the bloody hand off first before grabbing the card and touching him, but her thumb just kind of brushes against his for a moment.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Well, you already asked several, so I guess one more couldn't hurt.
Have you yourself ever taken Thoraxin?
Has Delphine ever taken Thoraxin?
Never heard of it until today.
Delphine shakes her head. No, it's new to me.
Nosebleeds are a frequent after effect of Thoraxin, and so is kind of a jaundiced look, and your eyes are a little yellow right now. I don't know, maybe it's something else, but you might want to look into that. If you feel any sort of extreme pain in your body, that seems to affect all your body. That's a side effect of Thoraxin.
Okay.
I wouldn't take that drug if I was you.
Yeah, no. She swallows thickly. He's describing all the symptoms she has just had and experienced, and it's scaring her. She kind of wants to leave this conversation, so she says, "Okay, well, thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much,
I'll take
Mr.
this.
Bro. Give me a call, okay?
Yeah, thanks."
We can help each other out.
She hurries back inside.
You hurry back inside. You hear him step out into his car. The car starts. He takes off. You're starting to feel lightheaded again. Your nosebleed's not stopping. It's coming down, and you're kind of starting to feel a little woozy from it. What do you do?
Does Delphine have a pager? Would they have would she have a phone in the home? Like,
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, okay. She would call the main house. She doesn't think her parents would answer, but the housekeeper would.
You pick up the phone. You dial. Give me a keeping it together roll. Remember to add your penalty for the -1 from your stability.
Yes. Her hands are shaking, and I think she's just dropped the handkerchief at this point. 7.
7. You dial the number. It rings a few times. Someone picks up, and they don't say anything for a moment.
Hello? Miss?
And then
Delphine will stop talking and just listen.
you hear breathing. And then you hear your sister's voice. It's my body. Give it back to me. I'm going to use one of my holds here on you. You hear this voice, and as you do, the phone falls from your hand. There's a knocking at the door. You turn, you look, you can't see anything. You just see shadows moving. You hear something moving in the kitchen. Outside, a dog is barking.
Is that shard of glass still near Delphine? Because she would grab it as a weapon at this point.
You reach out and you grab that shard of glass. I would like you to know that with your roll of keeping it together, you have lost 4 stability.
Okay.
Your mind begins to spiral. You grab the piece of glass. You're stumbling through the house, hitting things, knocking things over. You're clutching this piece of glass so hard that it's starting to cut into your fingers. You know you're doing damage, but you can't stop. You try to hold it out. You try to open your hand, but you can't. It squeezes harder and harder and harder around the glass. Blood is dropping freely down it now. You try to open your hand and you can't. And you hear your sister's voice from the phone again. Give it to me. Meanwhile, Estelle. You are in the wings. On stage is a beauty pageant. You're standing in the wings and you're watching as one of the contestants is on the ground, on the stage, convulsing, spitting blood. People are rushing past you, pushing past you, jumping on the stage. Someone's calling for a doctor. You follow them slowly. You stand there looking down. The woman on the ground is screaming. She is screaming, and as you and the others stand around her, she reaches up and she starts to tear her face off. Her fingers sink into her skin and she starts to rip off the flesh of her skin. And as she does, underneath, you see your face, but it's your face 20, 30, 40 years from now. It's old, it's wrinkled, it's sagging, your hair is almost all gone. And you realize the sound you're hearing is everyone. Everyone laughing at you. Everyone pointing at you. You reach up and touch your face and you can feel the wrinkles and the sagging skin and the lack of hair. You hear a phone ringing. You open your eyes. You're lying on your bed. Your shoes are off. It's lying on your back. There's a cold compress on your forehead. You can hear Cynthia in the other room talking to someone on the phone. It's quiet. There's just a fan in the ceiling. What do you do?
I think she is going to slip out of bed, and while Cynthia is distracted with the phone, make her way to her bathroom, and for the first time, being alone, she'll make herself vomit.
Feels great. Not when you're doing it, but immediately after, you feel an intense sense of relief.
She'll get up and splash some water on and make sure it didn't look like she did that, and she'll make her way downstairs.
When you come downstairs, you see Cynthia holding the phone up, looking at you. They won't talk to me.
Who?
She extends her hand and hands the phone to you.
All right. Mrs. Hampton?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Mrs. Hampton. This is Sergeant Rivera from the Sheriff's Office. Your husband is Matthew Hampton, is that correct?
That is correct. How may I help you?
I'm afraid there's been an accident. Your husband is alive, but in critical condition at Mother of Mercy Hospital in North Las Vegas. We need you to come down as soon as possible, if you could.
Oh, of course. What? Okay. Yes, thank you. We'll be there soon. Thank you. Shit. She's gonna hang up the phone.
What is it? Mom, what'd they say? You okay? What's going on?
They said your father's at St. Mercy's.
What happened? Is he okay?
It doesn't seem like he's in critical, but...
No, in fact, they said he was in critical condition.
Oh, he's in critical. He's in critical.
Okay, look, let's go. I'm going to drive. You're not in any condition to drive. And she starts rushing around, grabbing her purse and grabbing her stuff. What do you need? Where's your stuff? Where are the keys, Mom? Mom, where are the keys? Where are the fucking car keys, Mom?
Don't yell right now, okay? Dresser. Bedroom dresser. Get
All right.
my flats.
I'll get your shoes. I'll get Dad. Get yourself a jacket. I'll be right back. And she runs upstairs and she goes to the room. You can hear her kind of grabbing stuff.
Okay.
She comes back down All right, let's go. It's only gonna take about 20 minutes to drive there. Come on. And she grabs you by the arm and takes you to the car, and moments later you're busting down the freeway back towards Las Vegas. It's gonna take about an hour actually to get there. Did they say anything? Did they say what had happened?
I think I was just too stunned to really ask.
God damn it, I hope he wasn't drinking. He hasn't had anything to drink in over 8 months. I can't believe he would now get off the wagon like that. Are you okay? What happened back there? You just fell right into Andre's arms. I thought it was a ploy at first, but then you clearly weren't feeling well.
Therapy was just rough.
I don't like that guy. I've been reading up on him, and all I'm gonna say is there's a lot of weird shit going on with that guy, that Bell, whatever his name is. He was in Orlando before. You can't trust anyone from Florida, all right?
Usually, but when you have a wacko of a mom who was a part of a cult, you bring in weirdos from Orlando.
You know, it's not your fault, Mom. That's what these people do. They find people that are wounded and on the brink, and they specialize in this. It's not your fault. It's not like you went after them. They found you. It's like you were a broken piece of glass that they stumbled upon and they brought back home and they added to their collection. You're gonna have to forgive yourself.
Well, I think it's kind of hard to do that, sweetheart, when that type of stuff doesn't... No, not even that. Why would I even say that? I was a part of a church, for God's sake. It wasn't... I felt like it wasn't supposed to happen to me. It happens to white women who are very, very bored with their lives and can't get by unless they have someone making them feel like they're pretty and needed and not being pushed aside. And I wasn't really feeling that.
Mom.
But
Mom.
alas.
Church is a cult too, Mom. It's the same thing. You're predisposed to it. And I know that, you know, wine moms from fucking North Vegas love that shit. You were just predisposed to it. You were just broken, and it's got nothing to do with anybody else. You just got to figure out what it is inside of you that is broken like that, what gives them a handle, and that's what you got to fix, you know.
Does that make you predisposed too?
For me, no, I'm perfect, man. I got my shit sorted out. I'm out here all night living in a commune with a bunch of people who spend their days smoking pot, and I draw flower pots. That's what I do. I'm perfectly balanced. I draw broken flower pots and spilled flowers, and no one wants to buy my art, but hey, you know, living the dream. Only they could see me now. It's cool. I've become great.
You could always go back.
No. School's a cult too, Mom. Alright? Like, I don't need... Pablo Picasso didn't go to fucking... oh no, yeah, he was fucking well balanced too. Magritte didn't go... No, he was also kind of insane.
Compare yourself to.
Look, Frida Kahlo was doing great. Frida Kahlo was doing perfectly fine, alright? I could be the next Frida Kahlo and be perfectly fine.
It's a cult, but it's a different kind, and it's away from this. And I don't want you to be in this, and I don't want you to be in a commune. There's like 2 degrees away from an actual cult, and you know that.
Well, Andre's not in the commune. Get a good job. And he's kind of hot.
Don't marry someone who was flirting with your mother and almost wanting a poker up his ass. I could not quite tell with him.
Was he flirting with you or were you flirting with him? It was kind of hard to tell from a distance.
I was threatening him with a poker because, again, there was a stranger in my pool. Like 2 minutes after your father left to go to wherever the fuck he went to.
Well, we're about to find out as two of you pull into Mother of Mercy Hospital. All right. He's alive. He's okay. He's going to be fine. He'll see us. He'll be overjoyed. He'll pop out of there, and we'll all go home together. And we're going to stop at Jack in the Box on the way home and get some disgusting food. Are you okay?
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Of course, I'll wait for you just outside the door.
Okay. You're not grieving. Don't let the hyperventilation get you in a hospital bed. Okay. Oh, okay. She'll join her daughter.
You walk into the hospital. Everything becomes strange, almost kind of like a dream. You feel almost like you're back a few hours ago when you were in that strange memory thing and the hypnosis thing. Things are disjointed. You remember walking through the lobby. You remember Cynthia asking about the room for your father. You remember going there. You remember seeing a police officer there. They wouldn't let you in the room. You watched him through a window. He had tubes going in his mouth and through his nose, and he seemed to be in really bad shape. What does Estelle feel as she looks through this window at this mess, this broken human being that is her husband lying in traction in the bed in front of her?
They really did love each other. Or at least she felt that he loved her. I mean, they'd known each other for a long time. He let her finish. They went to school. They had kids. They stayed together for this long. Disagreements, fights, but there was still love, and I think that's what holds her right now. This is the sadness she feels, is someone she loved in pain, even though she kind of hates him and has been kind of hating him for a while. So it's that conflicting feeling of she looks heartbroken, she looks worried, but she knows internally there's a piece of her that is almost, there was like a snort, simply wishing I was the one who put him. I wish I put him there myself, but it's quickly buried deep in with everything else she buries.
There are words spoken at you. Coma, no seat belt. You'd been drinking. Severe head and spinal trauma, lacerations, broken bones. Then at some point, the detective who spoke to you on the phone, Sergeant Rivera, is pressing a yellow envelope to your hands. He had this in the inside pocket of his jacket. I thought it might be best if it came to you directly.
What happened to the... He said he was going to meet some friends from work.
We don't know. We haven't been able to establish anything. All we know is that he was on his way back towards Hartwell. He was leaving Las Vegas. When it occurred, he swerved into the lane and ran face first into a semi out on the 15. Car's total loss. Someone will be in touch with you about that, and we're going to try to retrace his steps, and we'll take your statement a little later if you're feeling up to it and find out where you might have been going and try and piece it together.
Yeah, I'll be here. Do you want me to look for you, or I can tell you?
He reaches into his thing and pulls out his card and gives it to you. I'll be in touch. But if there's anything, you can call me there. Day or night.
Thank you, officer.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah. She's a little sorry. She's gonna find a quiet place to sit and go through the envelope before going to find Cynthia.
You open the envelope, there's a metally sound inside, and you upend it into your palm, and a couple of things fall out, and the first thing you notice is a key. It is to a place called the Stardust Motel, room 11. When you look at the key, there's some red on it. You're not quite sure exactly what it is. The other thing that fell from the envelope is a Polaroid, and it has fallen slowly and fallen to the ground face down when you upended the envelope.
William, you sloppy motherfucker. She'll pick it up.
You turn it over, and when you do, you see a picture of you going down on Dr. Bell. Meanwhile, Marjorie. You're in your little garden in the back. You've come out carrying the things you need. What do you do in your garden?
I find this very specific place. This place where some of the plants have begun to die from lack of water. It's not the desert air that's doing it. It's something else. We know how to keep a manicured lawn here, and perhaps it's a bit foolish. But the air around here feels thin. I take off my robe and the things I'm wearing underneath. I keep on my jewelry, my black tourmaline necklace, and my opal rings. But otherwise, I strip down to nothing. Scattered throughout the garden, there are wind chimes that hang. They're uneven, made of scavenged metal, cracked crystals, old keys, forks. Just little trinkets. Lost little items that were once loved. And I began by making the air visible. I burn bundles of herbs that almost make sense. Sage and Palo Santo, yes, but mixed with it there's mugwort, datura stems, dried citrus peel, and something that is acrid and bitter, smells of animals. The smoke becomes thick and almost greasy, like it's clinging instead of rising. And I wave it around me, not just around me, but through me, like I'm washing my hair and my hands and my body. And as I do this, I say, clear the static, clear the mirrors, clear the lies I'm telling myself. And I bend over and I begin pouring a circle around myself made out of powdered chalk and salt. And inside the circle, I place a small animal skull that's been painted gold and a tarot card that's been scratched blank, almost as if it's been rubbed with a key. I sit cross-legged and I begin rhythmically breathing, too fast, almost hyperventilating. And the wind chimes start to twitch, and I press my thumbs hard into my temples, and I hum a low note, and it wavers off key, and with each exhale, I spit a mouthful of saliva on the ground as if I'm purging something physical. It gets me to a point where I almost feel like I'm going to vomit, and finally, I take a small hand mirror, clouded over, old, and I breathe on it until it fogs completely, and I place it face down on top of the skull and the tarot card, and that's when the air changes. The smoke stops drifting and begins to sink, pooling around my knees. I smile, relieved and afraid. It's the final act of surrender. I lie down flat on my back inside the circle, and I place the card and the skull and the mirror on my chest, and then I lay with my arms spread wide, palms up, eyes wide open like the Vitruvian man, and I whisper, "Speak without mercy."
The chime rings. It's not from the wind. Each sound a fraction of a second too late, like an echo of a movement that hasn't happened yet. The temperature drops, not cold, but heavy, pressurized. The sound comes from everywhere. From the ground, from your chest, from the mirror, from the spaces between your thoughts. A voice that feels vast and crushing, intimate and contemptuous, like the world itself leaning down to whisper. And I'm going to use a hold I have on you here for your lost ID. The voice is the same voice you heard in the memory. And it says, "Look. Look in the mirror, but know this. To see past the illusion is no small thing. A price will eventually have to be paid. But if you're prepared, if you are willing, Nancy Weathers, look in the mirror and see the truth." What do you do?
My hand trembles at the name, but I grab the mirror and I flip it over and I look into it.
The glass of the mirror has darkened, as if the mirror is now an opening into the void itself, as if Drawn by your own fingers in the condensation on the glass, you see a crudely drawn sephirotic shape. Arrows pointing downward, a crown square. When the fog clears, the symbol remains etched, as if engraved in the mirror itself, perhaps with the point of a diamond. The tarot card, when you look at it, now holds an image of a woman, some kind of priestess or sorceress named Malkuth. And you feel, suddenly, the weight of possibility settle on your shoulders. And the voice says, you must guide them. You must bring them through. The truth awaits on the other side. And when the voice disappears, you know what you have to do. What's going through your mind right now?
I pause for a moment and say, are you still there?
The image in the mirror wavers. Just a little bit.
I see. And I'm breathing heavily, but this time it's not rhythmic, it's excitement. It's like I've got lightning going through my veins, and I finally feel like I understand it. I get it now. It's just what I've always wanted.
Somewhere in Las Vegas. Blue, are you with us? Somewhere in Las Vegas, you approach the house where you've been staying with some of the others. You can see a little bit of light, you know they're there. You push open the door. It hasn't changed much. You know it was Delphine's sister's house. You never met her yourself. But there's a cat, and the cat is very insistent in its mewling, and it comes out of the kitchen and stands out and looks at you, and Dean, the other one who squats here with you, steps into the living room, takes a swig off the beer he's holding. Where you been, Del? That crazy bitch has been coming around again, trying to show the house to sell it. I don't think we're going to be able to squat here very long.
No, I don't think so. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Fucking thing in the room gives me the creeps. Anyways, fucking carving or whatever it is. I'm all for getting the hell out of here.
And Del kind of looks back at the carving. Is it uncovered right now?
Partially. It's clear that Dean, not liking this fucking thing, threw a bunch of old rugs and blankets over it, but you can see the bottom corner of it sticking out.
Del stares at just that corner for a second before turning away and grabbing this like old ratty backpack and beginning to shovel clothes inside and just papers and journals and notebooks, things of that nature. And he's kind of muttering to himself, all right, well, we gotta go. We have to figure out where we're gonna go next, and I need to I don't even know what I fucking need to.
Well, you're in luck, because I rummaged through the house. And don't you know what, the bitch who used to live here had a stash. And he holds up a bunch of pill bottles. These were in the wall. I've never heard of them. Lucivex, thorax, and a bunch of shit, man, but I'm willing to bet we mix a couple of them and get ourselves nice and fucked up.
All right.
All right, let's get out of here, buddy. This place gives me the fucking creeps. I'm pretty sure that's fucking blood in that carpet there, and I just don't even want to know.
Nah, in fact, and they'll kind of pull their sleeves to hide their fingertips, and will just quickly, very terribly, just wipe off the surface that they were just messing around with to kind of get rid of their fingerprints. And they'll say, "Give me one of those. Just give me one. Anyone, frankly. One for the road."
He juggles them, closes his eyes, juggles them, drops one to the ground. God damn it. Picks one up. All right, this one opens it. You do one of these ones, I'll do one of these. Then we'll compare notes.
Pops it in.
Yeehaw. The two of you head out the door. Yes, go ahead.
Oh no, Del is just gonna ask if he's packed.
Oh yeah, I'm packed, and he lifts up a plastic shopping bag with like a few things in there. I got a bit of the copper out of the wall too. People sell that tomorrow.
Good idea. Oh, you know what? I saw some really fucking nice silver, and they'll turn back like towards the kitchen in a box, and there is like actual silverware, and so they'll grab that as well.
Sure, you never been here before? Keep finding shit in here like you knew this place.
Nah, I mean, it's like any other fucking rich person's place, you know?
Yeah. I think she was a stripper or something, though. Good money in that. Maybe I should consider that myself.
I can't think of any fucking body who want to pay you a dime for getting naked for them.
No, but that's
Let's get
it.
the fuck out of here.
I would charge him to not have me remove my clothes. You gotta be thinking.
Okay. We're getting somewhere.
And as you head out into the night, Marjorie, the presence that you felt earlier hangs around you, envelops you. You are sitting with your cards, drawing, doing a reading for yourself. And as you pull out the cards, you don't know much about tarot, but you pull one that you're certain is you, and one that appears to be Iommi, and one for Estelle, and one for Delphine. And everything seems to be where it's supposed to be. You feel the connections between all of them. And then you remember something. What happened to Sage? He went through the tunnel with you. And then you didn't see him again.
I look down at the array of cards, the High Priestess, the Page of Swords, the Empress, and the Chariot. I draw one more card, thinking of Sage. What sort of card do I find?
Twins.
Two of Wands. A twin.
And that, my friends, is where we're going to end tonight's recession cult that we finally managed to get through. After all the Archons and the Death Angels were
Fuck you,
against
Bleak.
us.
Fuck you, Sophia.
Truly. I get it now.
Now you get the fucking
Welcome to Folk&Myth, baby.
Amazing fucking time. I was shook. Genuine fucking shock several times.
That's how we do around here. It's how we do.
Welcome.